What's up YouTube? Today I've got a really special video. This is my first place deck profile of spirits. This is actually really important to me on a personal level, but I'm excited to show the deck profile of spirits getting first place. I think it's really cool to see kind of like that sort of deck do well. Let me know what you think in the comment section. Do you like the build? Would you consider ever running this? I mean, it's just so cheap. It's really fun. I mean, just slap in a couple of staples and you're good to go. Let me know what you think. Do you like it? What would you change? Any improvements you would include? Yeah, just let me know. Hopefully you enjoy it.
Alright, so onto the actual deck profile itself. I shall begin with the monsters, and for our one-offs we have, of course, the best monster in the game, Blackluster Soldier. This is so easy to make and so easy to just drop instantly with this deck, straight out of the deck, and I'll show you how afterwards, but 1 BLS is totally like legit in this deck. It's really its only big play, but I mean, it's such a strong card. There's no reason not to run it. So for another one-off, got Yaksha. So the way spirits work is you can normal summon them. You can't special summon them at all. So this deck doesn't run soul charge. So basically, you normal summon a spirit. In the end phase, it bounces back to your hand, and they do various effects on summon. So this guy Yaksha, he bounces your opponent's back rows. So you normal summon him, you can bounce like Mirror Force, Deprison, all that stuff. So it kind of forces them to like waste resources on him. So that's why he's pretty cool. I just play one because he's searchable. 1900 is really big too. So one Yaksha. And then you've got your 3 main spirits. Well, now you're onto the main spirit monsters, and I play 3 Kage-Takages. 3 Nikitamas. This guy is like Pollux and Caster for spirits, so you normal summon him, you can normal summon an extra spirit. The other really cool effect of this guy is when he is sent to the graveyard while you control a spirit, you can draw 1 card. So it's not just this monster, this card sent to the graveyard. So that means even as a material, you can draw if you control a spirit. So that's why you play him, because he's really awesome. And the other important spirit monster is Aratama. Aratama is the searcher of the deck. Your typical play is normal this, search with this guy, and then you can overlay into stuff. More often than not, with Aratama, you're just going to search Nikitama, so it means next turn you can do another Xyz play. And most of those plays involve Kage-Tokage. So you normal summon your Nikitama, and then you normal Aratama. You use activate its effect. You chain Kage-Tokage, then you overlay Kage-Tokage and Nikitama into probably like just whatever you need at the time. But a good opening play would be like King of the Feral Imps. Search out another Kage-Tokage, add Kage-Tokage to your hand, and then you draw a card, and then you can do the exact same thing again next turn. And that's how this deck works. You just want to constantly plus. So these are your main monsters. This is how you essentially like get over things. These are your problem solvers. You make rank 4s with them. So I usually side one Kage-Tokage out sometimes, just because it can really clog, and that sucks. But I mean, he is pretty necessary, I'd say. And now this is essentially why this deck won me the whole day. The hands. Now you could argue it's not really a spirit deck now, it's just spirits. It's just a hand deck with a spirit engine, which you're probably not too far off in being right about, but you know, the hands just give this deck so much protection. Because all your hands are all your spirits are bouncing back to your hand in the end phase, you can just set these guys, and that's really enough. I mean, I was crashing all day with these things, just won me so many games. Just the hands, absolutely amazing cards. Now that's all the monsters. I think that was 16 or something monsters, I can't remember. But yeah, spells 3 pot, because you don't always need to special summon. Just because pot's pot, you know, get some more combo pieces. It will help you plus with Aratama, because then you can search out more targets, etc. Don't really need to explain it too much. I mean, it's just that. MST, I still feel that it's sort of relevant in the main deck. If you want to go for a big push and they only have like 1 or 2 set, and you know it's not an artifact, MST is pretty strong. I would consider maybe dropping MST. There isn't really much this deck is gonna lose to, like from game 1, apart from maybe some weird banish deck, which even then this deck can sort of play around, because you've still got your spirits, but not the hands. But yeah, 2 MST. And now for the best card in this deck, Creature Swap. Because your spirits will bounce into your hand during the end phase, you normal summon your spirit, you creature swap whatever boss monster they have. I was swapping all kinds of things, 101s and black ships, just all kinds of like really like big monsters with a lot of utility, and they would take my spirit, and in the end phase I'd get my spirit back into my hand. So it's like they've just gone like neg1, and you've got like a super good boss monster like in the process. So that's pretty much it for spells. Just one last one, Dark Hole, just because I felt that it was going to be relevant at my locals, because there's a lot of spammy decks. So one Dark Hole in the main. I didn't run Book of Moon. I'm sort of on the fence with Book of Moon, but I definitely would not like criticize anyone who decided to run Book of Moon. It's just personally not something I like. And that is all my spells. Onto traps. Fiendish Chain, 3 of them. I feel that Fiendish is better than Breakthrough in this deck, because you expose yourself a lot with your spirits bouncing to your hand, and if you don't have a hand set, then well, it can get kind of, you might get OTK'd. So I run 3 Fiendish, and for my other 3 Elves of Traps, I run 3 Wiretap. This was honestly the best card of the day, apart from like the hands of course, but Wiretap was just so good. I was just hitting all kinds of things that were like stopping like big pushes, and I mean this deck can really put out some damage when it wants to. So 3 Wiretap, honestly, like so good. It was never really dead for me. Thankfully I didn't meet any Lightsworn players, so yeah, I felt it was necessary. And 2 D Prisons as well. I was expecting to see a lot of hands, but I didn't. I actually was on the receiving end of D Prisons a lot of the time today. That's actually how I lost my only game, was because of goddamn triple D Prison, or I don't know how many I must have ran into. That's not it for the traps, but I'll just clear these away anyway. I put 2 Blackhorns in the main. This kind of was a mistake. I don't think Blackhorn is that great, but I came into the tournament thinking I was going to see a lot of extra deck cards, and I did for the most part, but there was a lot of decks it was pretty dead against. Things like Harpies and such wasn't really good, because I mean they were just going to pop it before they exceed with Hunting Ground and stuff. So I still felt it was a really strong choice, and it hit quite a couple of good cards for me. And then we have staple one-offs. So Compulse, TT, Solemn, and Boundless. One final card for the 40th card. This is just a personal tech, but I ran a Needle Ceiling, just because, again, I came into the tournament thinking there was going to be a lot of spammy decks, and this actually pretty much won me my my final. I managed to Needle Ceiling a field of Sylvans, so that was pretty awesome. That's pretty much it for me with the main deck, and honestly there is quite a few things I would probably change, but I mean I'll just let you guys like think about that yourselves, I suppose. So anyway, on to the extra deck. The extra deck is pretty poor. There's a lot of things that I would change, but I'll just go through it really quickly. Lavalval Chain, I'll show you the combo with this after, but it's literally like so good in this deck. Crazy Box, because I was anticipating some dragon skill drains, especially after American Nationals kind of might have caused a bit of hype, but I didn't actually need to summon Crazy Box. And 1 Cowboy, 1 Pearl, this just because I didn't have anything else. I would probably play a second 101 or something over this. Emerald, so good. You run 6 hands and you use his effect twice. Now all your hands are back in your deck. So good, so good. Ragnar Zero, absolutely unbelievable. Just such a good card. If you come across like Madolch or just anything that has like a sort of field spell like that, like last week I came across Gravekeepers. This was amazing against it. Ragnar Zero is too good. Honor Arc, I would run 2 or over the Pearl, so 2 is pretty decent. 1 Key Beetle. You can make it with Aratama and Kage Takage. It's good for like side deck cards like Defissure. Like you can lock a Defissure, so that's why it's in there. Draco, just because you have so much space in the deck, extra deck. There, like you can really like play so many different things. So this guy like stole me a game once. Pretty decent. Doesn't really have much synergy with his secondary effect, but I mean 2k Cowboy is decent, you know. 1 Dynamo because you can make it with 2 Nikitamas. You don't really want to do that, but I mean sometimes you just kind of have to. 1 Black Ship gets over hands, that's really why he's in there. Dweller gets over hands, that's why he's in there. Exciton, didn't ever make him, but I mean he's there if you need it. And the final 2 cards, Feral Imps. I would also probably drop 1 for a Rhapsody and Berserk. I just couldn't find mine. 2 just because he's big and he searches. I mean, you don't really have much options turn 1. That's pretty much my extra deck. I would definitely, like I said, put in a second 101. Put in a Rhapsody, I guess. You have so much like versatility. Like just because you don't have any boss monsters in your extra deck, you can just play literally anything. So that is the extra deck. And finally, I would just like really quickly go over the side deck before I knock over my camera. So I played 1 Ryo. I expected to see a lot of searching. You can sometimes just sit on this guy alone and win games. Like it's so good. DD Crow. I use this for artifacts. I personally really like this against artifacts because they can go like Begeltech, and then you DD Crow the Begeltech and they can't pop their 2 dead artifacts in their back row. So 1 DD Crow. It's, I mean, I can't remember what I used it against. Oh yeah, there was a couple of matchups I'll talk about later if you care. But DD Crow is pretty, I like it. Then I ran 2 Maxi, and that's it for like monster side decks. Maxi was really good. It helped out in my finals. Spells, Defissure, Mind Control. I was really considering maining this, but I knew that there was going to be a ton of decks that were just like dragons and Lightsworn and stuff, so sometimes finding like a level 4 would be problematic, and I didn't want a dead card. It's funny saying that because I did have a lot of dead cards in the main, like Wiretap and stuff, but yeah, Mind Control was just amazing. Nobleman for the hands. Last week, at the other tournament, I actually pulled this off on a Gravekeeper, I believe. So it's there for like just the hands, but I mean you might find it being useful occasionally. Debunk in case I saw more hands and more Mermails or something like that. The rest of the side deck's pretty bad. I didn't really know what else to add. Oh yeah, and 1 Soul Drain, that's like the only other good card. Other stuff is just random stuff, like I ran like Mind Crush, and just I don't know if I came across like Bujins or something, I don't know. Second Needle Sealing. I thought there was going to be an Infernic player there, but I wasn't. Nah, didn't need it. And Full House, I sided this against Harpies. Didn't manage to resolve it. You can imagine why. It's my Harpy matchup was really bad. I'm very salty about it, but yeah, that's everything. So I guess I'll just quickly go over the combo. So what you need for like an ideal situation is 1 of each Spirit and a Kage Takage. So what you do is you have these 3 guys in hand. Normal summon, activate effect, special summon. This is like first turn play, ideally. So Aratama will search out, oops, not him. Aratama will search out a Spirit. So usually just another Nikitama. So you've got these 3 guys in the field, this guy's in your hand, you just searched it. Now you overlay these 2 guys for King of the Feral Imps. You detach King of the Feral Imps, detaching the Nikitama, make sure it's always the Nikitama, and you search out Kage Takage. that's your first turn play, and you've got back row. So you've searched out, like, you've gone +1, so it's alright, because what it means is next turn you can do the same thing again, because of course, yeah, you've gone like +2, I think. Can't do maths just now. Because Nikitama is detached from King of the Fair Realms while you control the spirit. This is my hand here. So because Nikitama hit the graveyard while you control spirit, you get to draw a card. So just whatever, you know. That's why that combo is like really strong. It's all about the plus with this deck. So you set your back row, end phase, blah blah blah, this guy dies or whatever. Then you've got, again, for your next turn, this is the best play of the deck. So what you do is you normal summon, activate effect, chain, and with Aratama you would probably search another Nikitama, or maybe Yaksha if it's like a lot of back row you think you want to bounce. So you just, because it's like the closest to me just now, search this guy, and then what you can do is you overlay into level val chain, and what you do is you detach Nikitama, you search BLS, stack it to the top of your deck. Now Nikitama in the grave activates because you control a spirit, you draw a card, so you instantly get your BLS, and you know, at like late game or something, like you want this guy because you're gonna have targets in your grave, so you can just like put this guy in the field and you can dish out like 4,000 or 5,000 damage with him alone. So pretty much all this deck can do. Oh, another cool combo is Fire Hand Crash, Ice Hand Crash, Fire Hand Crash, Ice Hand Crash. Yeah. So that's pretty much what you do with this deck. But yeah, feel free to stop listening now if you want. I'm just going to talk about my tournament matches a bit, because this is like not just like a sort of big deck profile, it's kind of like personal in the sense that it's like a tournament diary. So whatever, I'll just fishbowl while I talk. So let's see. First game I came up against Fat. I 2-0'd Fat. Bear isn't good against hands, so didn't have a good time. Let's see. Game 2 I came against Harpies. I lost. Game 1 was really like drawn out and stuff. Did I win? No, I won game 1. Yeah, it was pretty intense. A lot of back and forth play, but it was a good game. Game 2 I messed up. I opened like no monsters. I sided badly as well, because I'm not really like familiar with Harpies that much. So I sided really badly, and I opened only like one monster. I opened Ice Hand. I should have just set it, but I stupidly attacked, thinking I could go Crash City. However, you know, I didn't realize the guy was running like D-Fissure. So that lost me that game. I just got Harpy beatdown. Game 3, I basically... did I misplay game 3? No, actually game 3 I wouldn't say I misplayed game 3. I just got, like, he had every out. It was really annoying. So yeah, this is a really good hand, by the way. Anyway, so game 3 I came up game 3 I played Constellars. I 2-0'd Constellars. I say what I mean is the hands 2-0'd Constellars. Like, wow, the hands were so good. Game 4 I managed to 2-0 Evil Swarms without hands. It was actually really strange. I don't know how I managed to beat Evil Swarm without hands, because Ophion is quite a bitch to get over. But you know, 101 plays for days. And let's see, into the top cut I came up against the same Fat player who I 2-0'd, and in the final a little bit about the Fat match. He managed to rip out Macrocosmos against my hands, but I had the wiretap, so that game could have gone very differently. Thankfully I held my wiretap for something silly like that. And my final game I 2-0'd Sylvans. What happened? Game 1 I managed to hit a good needle ceiling. Game 2 I think I creature swapped the Dracosac. It was so good. Creature swap with a Dracosac is, yeah, it was GG. So yeah, that's essentially all my matches, and gotta hope you enjoyed my rambling, but yeah, that's my deck profile. So thanks for listening,